Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Yeah, welcome. I nearly actually just pressed the end stream live. That's not even quite interesting. Let me know where you are watching from. Today we'll be talking about sound stuff. It's actually quite an interesting one, especially for hypnotherapists and coaches, because you run Zoom classes, sessions, that type of thing. So we'll look at a few different options when it comes to sound. Most importantly, let me know you can hear me okay. So I've got various different microphones set up, various wires all over the shop, so anything could happen during the stream. And so we're gonna go through a few some tips and tricks. But if you have any questions whatsoever, then feel free to jump in the comment section and ask away. If you're watching over on Amazon, the products I'm talking about, you'll be able to purchase these products. And if there's anything in the carousel you want some more questions or some more knowledge about, let me know and I'll do my best to do that as well. So yes, look at what Dango is here. Dan, how are you? Just managed to catch a little bit of your stream earlier. Dan runs a fantastic stream. Do check it off. Check out Hypno magazine. It is great. Facebook user says, "Good day, Grant." Good day to you too, Facebook user. Let me just gonna jump in the group now, just so I can see who's who in the group. There we go. I'm in the group. There we go. And that is Richard Cole. Richard Cole. Richard, you are the man. Yeah, good to see you, Richard. Hopefully you are well. It seems like ages we spoke. Hopefully you're well. Hopefully we're gonna catch up soon at one of the many conferences over there. It'll be good to see you all. So yeah, let me just whilst I'm here, let's just double check everything is good over on that Amazon. Joanna says hello. Hello, Joanna. Hopefully you are well. So all is good. All is well with the world. So Joanna, hopefully you are well as well over on Amazon. So yes, we are live in various different places, Facebook, YouTube, and on AmazonLive.com. So let me know which one you're at. That's Joanna. Perfect. I love those emojis, Joanna, and I love a little butterfly as well. Butterflies are synonymous with the world of hypnotherapy. Um, Butterflies symbolises change, I think. Anyway, yes, we're going to be talking about various different sound stuff as well. In this group, there's an expert in sound production, and that's obviously Cole, who's in the comment section. Again, an expert when it comes to sound stuff. So I'm going to talk you through a few different options when it comes to live streaming. And yes, yes, Joanna, absolutely. Live streaming, and especially stuff that we can use as therapists and coaches, both in our treatment rooms as well as out and about on the road. For those that follow me on some of the other stuff that I do, you will find that I do go live using my phone at various different events, so we can talk about that as well. So, one of the first things as well, oh, don't know if you remember our last therapy session, we were all crying. Yeah, absolutely. You know it's a good session when that happens. Absolutely. So, getting right into it. I'm gonna talk about a few different things, some tips and tricks when it comes to, going live as well. The first one before we get into the screen cut down, yes, yeah, yes. Oh, I do remember. I do remember actually. Oh, that is not good. Nick Wood is here as well. Good to see you, Nick. So yes, yeah. So let's just go into a few things here. Let me just go and check this sound here. See, I'm in danger of one of the things I'm talking about as well, and that's scraping my mouse around my desk where my microphone is based. Yeah, so that all thing sounds good. So yes, a few other things. Control room acoustics. That's exactly what we are just talking about there. What does that mean? That means, when you're doing your stuff, like here where I am now, I've got my flat screen in front of me. I've got a flat hard desk in front of that, and I've got various walls around me. So what you want to do is make sure that your acoustics are the best that they can be, i.e., this wall to the left over here, I've got curtains on it. Even though it's a wall, there is curtains across there. I've got a fabric backdrop behind here. This wall here, I've got some more fabrics on it, and it's a carpeted floor. So if you're in a space where you've got lots of hard surfaces. Now, I know a lot of people go live speaking to clients on Zoom, for example, in their kind of spare rooms or bedroom type thing. Then, if you're doing that, make sure that you've got lots of cushions around, lots of fabrics, stuff that's going to absorb any sound that's bouncing around. Try and make sure you're not too close to your microphone. Try and make sure you're not too close to the desk and everything else. All of these flat surfaces are going to bounce sound around, and that's all going to go back into the microphone. So your microphone's going to pick up everything that's going on around you, including stuff that you might not be able to hear as well. So, such as if I scrape something across my desk, you might pick that up in the microphone as well. You won't hear it, but the client can hear that as well, which is what we were just doing a minute. Acoustics, yes. There is a joke about acoustics, but I'm not going to do it because it's a terrible joke, and I'm not going to do it. But yeah, it's the acoustics of the room makes such a difference. And again, I see lots of people or hear lots of people when they're going live. It kind of sounds like they're in their bathroom, and that's because they've got those hard, flat surfaces. But you're not necessarily going to pick that up, but the client's going to pick it up. And they won't know the difference between good sound and bad sound until they hear it. And then it's just going to help you step above everybody else. So, sound is so important. If we get sound right, everything else kind of falls into place. So make sure you've got lots of surfaces that are going to absorb sound. Don't call me. Yes, yeah. Again, make sure your phone's on silent and not on vibrate. That's really important, especially if you're going to be seeing clients. Make sure everything is conducive to that sound being good. So minimize or control the room acoustics. One of the things you can do as well is you can get the acoustic foam panels. I've had those in the past. They are, they're spot on. They do help a little bit, especially if you know the areas. If you're not going to get a lot of them, think of putting them up in areas that are kind of directly in front of where your voice is going to hit those surfaces, and put them on those flat walls by that. So that helps absorb it. And it also diffuses the sound as well. It's not just a case of absorbing it. A lot of those panels have the kind of the triangles on them as well. And this diffuses the sound in different directions. So that does help. I like that, Joanne. Watch is good when the person that just told you to silence their phone rings. Their phone rings, theirs ring. Yes, exactly. Always make sure that phone is on silent. But if you're seeing clients, let them know that there is going to be sounds. They don't need perfect silence, but it just helps. So yeah, make sure those phones are on silent. Yeah. So yeah, make sure the room has got the soft furnishings. Now, this can be anything from like cushions as well. Make sure there's lots of cushions and like a nice rug on the floor if you've got a hard floor surface. Even if you've just got like a little bit of a rug in the area where you're going to be stood and you're going to be streaming from as well, that's going to help. Any soft furnishings around is definitely going to help as well. I have the London acoustics panel. Get it, London. Haha. Well, all the best things come from London, Dan, as you know. But yeah, acoustic. And here's the thing with acoustic panels: you can go from the foam ones, like 1 inch foam, but they've got some really cool ones out there now as well. So they've got some little hexagons, all sorts of stuff you can get. This all adds to the look of your stream as well. So definitely look into that. And again, you can spend as much or as little as you want. The best thing is kind of start where you are. Don't kind of think I can't start until I bought all of this expensive stuff and yada yada yada. Start where you are. Start with what you've got. Yeah. Johanna says, obviously we can hear and know many work from home. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of people working from home now. And I think since the pandemic, it moved people on so much more when it came to kind of online services like this. And I believe, especially when it comes to coaching clients and therapy clients, I believe it's better for them. You're reducing that barrier that they're going to have to seeking help or get into the appointment, so they can just go online, which means they can do it in their time. Call customer service, "Hey, baby, or kids." Absolutely, and that goes straight into the next point. Minimize noise sources. There's all sorts of stuff that can be going on. Try and minimize that as much as possible. If you are working from home and you have the luxury of having a partner or someone, get them to kind of look after the cat, the dog, or the kids. But yeah, minimize as much noise as possible, even down to things like, and I didn't notice this until listening back to some of my streams when I first started. Like if you've got a central heating boiler in the background, or you've got some computer fans or something like that, it's like a low whirring buzz noise. You might not notice it, but it does get picked up on the stream as well. So you're doing everything you can to make the sound as clear as possible. So fans, wind noise, anything like that. Try and do your best to minimize those noise sources. And here's an interesting one as well, and I think it's quite interesting. Rearrange your room without going into the science, too much of the science when it comes to sound. A lot of areas, like the corners of your room and up against the wall, these areas kind of, that's where sound is going to hang out. That sounds weird, but because the sound hits those, bass gets cut into the corners of the room, and bass can be against the kind of flat surfaces. So move your computer away from the wall a little bit. So like here, I'm a good maybe 6 foot from the walls, that way, and that way. Now, not everyone has that luxury, I know, but think about moving it away from the wall a little bit. I know a lot of people set up their battle stations right up against the wall. But no, move it back a little bit, allow a bit of space back there for the air to circulate, and you might not pick up that extra kind of hum of the bass noise there as well. Joanna says, my kitty cat used to always want to go out when I said, absolutely. You just reminded me, and she's so loud. Yeah, absolutely. I'm lucky that I leave my cat at home, although I keep promising to bring him into the studio because I think he would love it, and I think you would love him too. But it's guaranteed that if I was at home, he would want to be on the keyboard, he'd want to be on the desk, he'd want to get involved because he's an attention seeker. I don't know where he gets that from. Who knew? Who knew? So yeah, again, let me know your experiences as well. Sounds one of those weird things that, because when we are live, a lot of it is we don't hear that. The person at the other end hears it, and it's only when we get that feedback that we know that there is an issue. A lot of people, when they want to hear it, so they'll turn their stuff up, but then the microphone can pick that up, which is why I'm playing around with these in-ear monitors so I can play around with the sound a bit more. Johanna says, but she's potty trained to go outside, so when she meows, you go. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because otherwise, we don't want that on stream. Yeah, so kind of stay away from the walls and everything else. Getting into kind of some kit stuff now as well, and this kind of helps. Isolate your microphone. So I have it at the back here. This is the Rode PS1 arm. This is a great bit of kit. I can move this microphone around. See if I can get it on camera. Oh, there we go. I can move that around. There, you can just about see it there. I can move this around. It's so smooth. That's why they requested your headset to be. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Joanna. But you know what's weird? I don't like those big cans that a lot of people wear. This is just my personal preference, especially on Zoom. I think it looks like you're not connected with them. So I like to have like this, which is just a little bit more subtle. I've got one in-ear monitor in, and it means I can hear. I have my my Rode here, so I can hear the sounds there, and it adjust the volumes on stuff that I'm doing here as well. And that helps. I do like that as a little bit of some stuff. So yeah. Dan says, I had some feedback on playback on one, but it was not on live. I think it was the monitors on the desk. Absolutely. Yeah, if those monitors are coming into the area, into your battle station, and your microphone's going to be there, you're going to get that feedback loop. Effectively, you know, the microphone is picking up the speakers, which is then picking up the microphone, picking up the speakers, and then you get that horrible noise. And the other side, the worst part is when you go live and you've not switched your microphone on, you've not got your stuff quite ready, and you're on mute. I sometimes forget and get up to leave. Yes. Yeah, whilst being plugged in. I have done that. I did that on this stream on Amazon Live about 2 years ago and completely destroyed my MacBook. I literally, because I've got a stand-up desk now, but I was still plugged into the MacBook, and I've walked off and it's pulled it off the desk. And so, yeah, that was not my wisest or finest moment that ever was. But yeah, but you only do those things once, and then you learn that lesson. But yeah, sometimes, especially if you've been on stream for a while, you can kind of forget that you're plugged in. Which again, I mean, these monitors that I've got, the in-ear monitors, they're in the carousel. I'll talk about them in a minute. But basically, I'm wire-free monitors, so I can hear what's going on and move around as much as I want as well. We all hear my noise. Yeah. Were you live visually? Yes, I was. I was live. The amount of stuff that's happened to me whilst I'm alive. I remember once I was here in the studio and I've heard someone going up into the office, but this was about 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, I was on live, but I'm like, I think I'm being burgled at the same time. So that was a bit weird. So yeah. So yeah. So something like that. This is Amazon Live, an interactive showings platform. Got to get answers. Oh, thank you very much. Yes. Joanna, thank you very much for that, for the plug. I always forget to be too salesy, which is bad because, you know, you should always have that call to action. But yes, we're on Amazon Live as well. So please feel free to give me a follow. I don't get any of your data. But yeah, you just get my English waffling, which is not too bad. I'd like to think so. So yeah, so isolate your microphone. I've got the Rode PSA-1 arm. I love this because you've got the neoprene sleeve over it as well, so it looks a bit cool. But the mechanism on this really does kind of, it is so smooth and it's what the professionals use. So I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Let me show you what I'm talking about here as well. This is what, let me just move this one. Let me hide that one. I've got so many windows open and it's like my brain. There we go. So that is the PS1 arm there. It's beautiful. It's got the desk mount there as well. And so it really does help. So yeah, hide that again. So yeah, that's the Rode PSA-1. That helps you separate from what's going on the desk. I do have this desk mounted as well. You can get little things like these. This is just a little desk tripod stand, so you can put your microphone on there. It's got some little rubber feet on there. This is not a product. This is just, I've heard. Oh, absolutely, Joanna. This is it is probably the #1 choice when it comes to boom arms. I never used to be a fan of boom arms, to be fair, because I'd bought cheap ones in the past, and they just, after a while, the springs start to get really creaky, and it's not good when you're on stream. But yeah, these are really good. You can set them up on your desk. You're very limited onto kind of how you interact with it. And again, if you've got this on the desk and you're moving your mouse around or typing on the keyboard, those vibrations can go up into this, and then that's being transferred into your microphone as well. So again, when it comes to isolating your microphone, that's really important. Another way to do that is to get one of these, which is a shock mount. A shock mount really helps because you'll see the vibrations kind of may come up into this frame around it, but then you've got this elastic stuff around the outside, which stops those vibrations going into the microphone. That really does help. When you're talking into your microphones, well, depending on the type of microphone, if you've got a condenser microphone, you want to be pretty much straight in front of it. If you've got a cardioid or dynamic, you can move that around to be about 45-degree angles from it. A lot of people have the Blue Yeti microphone. That's a really great starter mic where you can get all the way around it, but it does help. This one, at the moment, I'm I'd say about 8 to 10 inches away from this one. Ideally, you want to be about 6 to 8 inches away from the microphone, which, yeah, is what they say is the ideal kind of space. But I am up and around all over the shop at the moment. But yeah, you want to be about 6 to 8 inches away from the microphone. You don't want to get too close, because if you get too close like this, you get like plosives, the P's and the B's start to affect it as well. And you'll find the closer you get to your microphone, the more bass response it's got, and the further away you get from it, it will sound not as basic, if that makes sense. And again, with the PSA bar, you can move this around a little bit and get it a bit closer to where you want it to be, if that makes sense. Let me just pop this on here as well. Yeah. So yeah, 6 to 8 inches away from the microphone is a good place to be, because it allows a bit of air in the middle, and you're not getting, like I say, those P's and B's, those plosives, which really helps. And again, play around, test your microphone with your system and what you've got. Find out what's right for you. Again, a lot of it depends on your projection. if you do speak on stage a lot, you'll probably project a little bit more, which again, with those plosive, those P's and B's, that microphone's going to kind of pop with that as well. And you could, if you do suffer from it, you could get yourself a pop screen or a windshield in front of that. A lot of microphones kind of have stuff built in to help with that. This Shure microphone here has a foam windshield on there, and a few have them built in, but it's nice to have that pop shield in front, which stops the air from just popping at the microphone, if that makes sense. Let me just go on here as well. So again, if you have any questions or comments as well, it's one of those that it's always interesting to hear other people's views, what they find, what they like to use as well. I really like this Shure microphone that I've got. I will talk about this one in a little bit more detail in a few moments' time. But yeah, so that's the boom arm that I was just talking about. That really does help. I have this one. It's an XLR and USB. So from this, it goes out the back of the microphone here, into XLR cable into the back of a sound mixer that I've got, which is a Rodecaster. You don't have to have it that way. You can have it a USB as well. So yeah, that does help. I have the purple cables, the XLR ones. The only reason for them really is just because purple, as those that know, is part of my kind of brand colors. And so I kind of like to add that to my stream as well, because it just feels on brand. One of the things I like about the Rode arm is it's got the little grips to hold onto the cable, so it looks quite nice trailing across it there as well. So I'll get rid of that. But yeah, so yeah, I think that kind of helps with that. I spoke about the Rodecaster. I'll talk about it very briefly. Do you know what? I'll show it you. I'll just move this microphone, this camera around. It says as it pulls on it there. I've got so many cameras because I've got so much stuff around here, and I just don't want to unplug something whilst I'm trying to show you this. There we go. So let me just, there we go. I'll zoom in. You'll see it through. That's not a really great picture, to be fair. I'll just show you in stream as well. I just make it a little. This is the Rodecaster here. You'll see. Move that back there. I'll move this forward. So you'll see we've got various different sliders on here to control this. You've got this great screen on the top here, the monitors on the top there. So that all really helps. But that is a call came through. Awesome. So yeah, so that really helps. This is a great bit of kit. It's an expensive bit of kit. I'll explain that to you. You know, it's not for everybody, but it is a great bit of kit. We're going to start talking now about some other kit, which is we're going to start at the cheaper end of the spectrum and then work up. So we're going to go through some different microphones. Talk about timing perfectly. We're going to go through some different microphones. And now here's the thing. I won't be able to hear this. You'll be able to hear this. So I'd like to think maybe you can hear a difference. So let me know when we go between each microphone. Let me know kind of what marks you give it out of 10 for sound, and see if you can notice the difference in the two. I'm going to start with the inbuilt microphone on my iMac that's right in front of me here. Then I'm going to go to this Mackie USB microphone. I've not used this in a long time. This is a very budget USB microphone, but great quality as well. Then we're going to go to the Rode NT USB Mini, which is this one, which is a great little microphone. This is my travel mic. It goes in my bag and goes everywhere with me. Then we're going to do the Rode Wireless Go. These are great for when you're streaming out and about using your phone, but I've also got them plugged in here as well. And we're gonna test that with the lavalier microphone. Again, depending on what kind of look you're wanting to go for. And then we'll finish off with this microphone, which is the Shure MV7, which is a great USB and XLR microphone. So let's get into it as well. And then I'm also going to point out a couple of little extra bits and bobs as well, if that makes sense. So let me just bring this out. And now we're going to start with, which one did I say? I said the Mackie one, didn't I? This one. Right, so bear with me a second whilst I plug this in. In fact, you know what? I think I've already got it plugged in. So this is, as you can see, this is a USB mic. Let me just turn these around here. Mm. Do you know, I set everything up midstream and then I always kind of mess around and change stuff just to make sure it looks as good as it could. So let's get into this here. This is this one. So this is the Mackie. Again, this is a great microphone. This is the side you want to point to there. It comes with the shock mount as well. It's a nice looking bit of kit, and Mackie are, you know, they're a great brand. This is, like I said, this is a more budget microphone. Swap those two over. It's a more budget microphone, but let me just, I'm going to hide this one and I'm going to bring it just, the audio is going to be this now. So we'll get ready to change this now. Yes, this is a USB one. So we're going to have to change the audio over now. So let me just take it from this to this now. So now what you are hearing is the EM91CU microphone. This is by Mackie. Let me know what you think of this. Like I said, I can't hear what this sounds like. I'm just got it in my hand now. I'm just holding it here. So I'll go, so do a little test here. I'll go close up here on the plosives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll come back here about 6-inch away there. And again, about 45-degree angle down. This is the Mackie EM series. Lovely bit of kit. I'll bring it up here for a little bit closer so you can see the quality of it. It's a nice, there we go. Autofocus doing its job. I think it's a nice looking bit of kit. No power switch or anything like that. It just goes straight into the bottom. But again, you can pick this up for a great price. Repeat. Yeah. Which bit? You want to have a look at this bit? There we go. So this is a great budget. This is a great budget microphone. Price wise, on Amazon at the moment, this is 16% discount. Okay, breathing. Yes, that's the thing as well. Sometimes if you're very breathy, it can pick that up. So yeah, currently 16% off. This is $42. So that's not a bad price really for a microphone. You can get cheaper USB microphones, that is for sure. But you know, when you get down to that really budget range, you know, you are in a really budget range. With this, again, you are speaking to clients. $42 is not bad at all. But I did promise I would start with the inbuilt microphone. So let's go to the inbuilt microphone now. 1 second. There we go. So that's the inbuilt mic from the iMac. So let me know if you notice the difference between them. Exactly. Deep insects it when you're closest. Always. So yeah, so that's the inbuilt microphone on an iMac. Yes. And then just for comparison, I'll just bring this back up here now. And now we are on the Mackie EM series. Yeah, do you know what? I think it might be. I do think so, actually, to be fair. The iMac is slightly newer technology than this. Again, with the iMac, you're going to be getting a lot of noise coming in from the desks. So let me just show you what that would be like. That's the inbuilt microphone. So if I was typing something, you're probably going to get that. And probably get that. Yeah, I think the iMac will be a little bit brighter. So can't spell must get battery for stylist. Yes. Yeah, I believe so as well. So that's that one. Where did we say we're going to go after that one? The Rode NT USB Mini. I really like this as a mic. Give me half a second. Let me just swap a cable over. Talk amongst yourselves whilst we do that. So let me just swap this one out here. There we go. I'll swap that one. Oh, I hate pulling cables out whilst I'm live. Anything could happen. There we go. Is everything still switched on? It's all still switched on, so you all still stayed here, so that's not too bad. So let me just swap this over. This one, this is the Rode NT USB Mini. What we're going to do is we're going to do the same. We're going to go from the iMac to this one just so you can see the comparison. I don't even know what mic I'm using at the moment now. Let's just, there we go. We're on the iMac built-in microphone. So this is, look at it for size. It's smaller than the palm of my hand. You've got gain control on the front, USB indicators there. You've got on the back a 3.5mm headphone jack and a USB-C for the charger. It comes with this desk mount, which has a rubber ring on the bottom to prevent that we were talking about earlier. Scratchily clack clack, I mean hypnotherapist. Yes, absolutely. That's the thing when it's like that. So it's got the rubber ring around the bottom, which is to prevent some of that noise coming through. But if I only communicate with myself, yes. So, right, so one of the things, well, this is magnetic mount, but look at that for a mag mount. That's really great. Some good strength in that. But it has got the, you can mount this to your boom arm as well. So let's pop this in. Let's plug this in and let's see what it sounds like. There we go. So that's plugged in. Now, with this Rode mic, it can be really interesting. One of the things that I loved about this is it comes with the, you can connect 4 of these via USB and you can run like a little mini podcast studio. So the software that this comes with will improve the sound as well. But what we're doing for this test is we're just going to be going raw from this to the computer, but it brings up like a little virtual Rodecaster software, so you can have 4 of these USB NT minis and run like a little mini podcast studio without spending all of that extra money. All right, so let's go into this now. This is the Rode NT USB mini. That's this microphone now. I'm a big fan of this. I use this for quite some time. And again, when you're doing your stream, you can have it just pop up there and you see the Rode branding in there as well. So this is the Rode USB NT Mini. Like I said, I'm a big fan of this. I also like this because the build quality on it is a solid piece of kit. It's got a nice weight to it. And if you needed to, you could use it to, well, hammer nails in a wall, I believe. Yeah, thank you, Facebook user. I believe that's Richard. That does sound good. Rode are, you know, market leaders when it comes to sound quality. That's what they do. They kind of specialize in video sound. And again, you know, there's a big step up in price between the Mackie USB microphone and this Rode microphone. And this is why when I upgraded my sound, I still kept this, because when I'm traveling, when I'm going over to see Dan, then I do kind of go there as well. I think previously had a much richer sound, deeper, interesting. And again, a lot of this is about playing with your personal preferences as well. Personal preferences. If nothing's going to blow your plosives out, that's going to be the one. So yeah, so that again, you know, I'm just holding this, but again, you know, 45-degree angle. You can set this up on your desk, and this is great for kind of that mid-range. Price-wise, this one, $99. So you know, double the price of the Mackie one. $99. Great bit of kit though. I've had this one for a couple of years. It is pretty bomb proof. I absolutely love it. And again, it goes in my kit bag because of its size. It can go in the kit bag and I can travel with it and I can stream when I'm at conferences, and it does really well. I am a big fan of this. Again, you've got the gains at the front, the headphone socket on the back. It's got kind of everything you need as a nice level up from where you are before you want to kind of spend any serious money. Smooth operator. Thank you very much, John. Yeah, I was a big fan of this. And don't get me wrong, this is just going raw. This is not using the Rode software. So when you use the Rode software, you can tweak that sound as well. So it gives you a little bit more control. You let it know whether the microphone is kind of desk mounted or on a boom arm. And again, you can tweak those sounds. You can make it a little bit richer. You can make it a little bit brighter. You can make it right for what you need it to be. As with everything, you know, the closer you get, the kind of better it is there as well. Haley's in the comment section as well. Haley, hopefully you are well. So yeah, so that is the Rode NT USB Mini. I'm a big fan of this. It's a great bit of kit. Right, we're going to go back now to the, we're going to go back. We're going to leave this in for a second, actually, whilst I set up the Rode wireless goals. Whilst we're doing that, let me explain these. That's what these look like. You've got a transmitter and a receiver. The receiver's plugged into my Rodecaster here, so I'm just going to switch that on. Oh, what is going on there? Oh, I've just pressed the wrong button. Never mind. Don't worry about that. All is well. So that's plugged on there. It's got all, I can see on that what that looks like. There we go. So that I have got extra sound in my ear now. I'm just making sure you guys didn't hear that as well. Yes, I keep getting called Kayla. Oh. Well, I don't know why they get Kayla, but yeah, I see that as Haley. Yes, it is the fancy. We like a bit of fancy though. Fancy is good. Who doesn't like a bit of fancy? Life's too short to not have fancy. Fancy is good all the way. So yeah, so this is the Rode Wireless Go. This is the older one as well. They've got a more up-to-date version of this. So what I'll show you as Adam Dealey is here. Adam has made it in. Adam, how are you? Hopefully you're well. Adam's got a set of these and he swears by them. Adam uses these as well, actually. They are great. And Haley on Amazon, it is great to have you. So anyone that calls you Kaylee, just give them an angry face. That is not your name. So yeah. And Adam really says, I like fancy. Adam, you are fancy. You're the fanciest, the second fanciest South Yorkshire person I know. Oh, Haley, you're an absolute star. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, the more the merrier. So we're kind of talking about sound stuff. And so, yeah, let's get into these. When you get these, if you want to do, I do a lot of lives at events with Adam, surprisingly, just using my iPhone at the event. These are great, but you have to get this separate cable, which is the SC7 cable with the iPhone adapter. But that then means I can plug that into my phone and then go live with good sound quality. The problem when you go live just using your phone is you've got that space between you and the microphone, and you pick up all the background noise as well. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to swap this over. Jim Keller's in the house. Jim, hopefully you're well, buddy. So yeah, so let's bring this up. I'll see what this sounds like. We're going to swap this over, but then we're also going to play with the lavalier section of this, which again, if you're doing corporate events and stuff, I think the lav mic always looks a little bit nicer. It's less intrusive. So let's swap you over to the, I believe it's this one. Yeah, that's the one. Let me know. I was just rubbing my finger over the tip of the microphone. So let me know if you can hear that. That is now the Rode NT. No, this is the Rode Wireless. With this, this works as a lav mic itself, so you can pop this on here, and when you're at events, you are now wireless. You can now talk over here and stream with this like this. It's really great. I do see some people kind of talk into it like this, which you can do, which is fine. But it's nice to have on there. The problem when you've got it on here is, can you hear that? You'll get that going on a little bit. So that's an interesting use of it. But yeah, the Rode, again, always sounds great. But what's really nice is you can get lots of little accessories for this as well. This one is the lav mic. I'll put that in there. You're going to hear loads of weird noises as I set this up. So now you've just got this, which makes you look a little bit more professional and a little bit more corporate. And if you're doing presentations and you want to record your presentations, this is a great thing for that. Not necessarily for when you're out and about doing stuff, but in a stream like this, I wouldn't use this. I would use the studio one. But if I was at an event and I was doing a talk, or I was doing a live on my phone, this is the sort of thing that I'll be using. And again, I really do like the sound quality that the Rode does. And most importantly, look at that tiny. Facebook says, where's your report stick? My report stick's upstairs, but the reporter stick is absolutely great. Basically, that just slides into there and you put the foam over the top, but it's up. In fact, no, I like it's in the boot of my car. And Adam Dealey says, have you got the charging case? Those are great. Yes, the new ones with the charging case are absolutely amazing. Oh, Jim says he likes the earpiece. Well, this means I can hear what's going on without it coming through the computer and without having the big cans on. And it also means when I'm doing stuff like this, I don't know, if I told a funny joke, I could then go like that. and I've got the control over that in my ear as well. So yeah, so that's the Rode Wireless. Again, a great bit of kit. I absolutely love that. And then, I mentioned these last week. Let me just swap back over to this microphone. There and there, and that should now be back on the Rode. Sorry, the Shure microphone. Which again is I like the sound on this. It's a great bit of kit. This is the Shure MV7. It's in here somewhere. It's in here somewhere. Shure MV7. This is both USB and XLR. So, like we spoke about earlier, you can plug this into your Rode system, and then you can. Adam says you never tell funny jokes. Hey, I do sometimes, and I get into trouble for it sometimes. So yes, so this one is great because it helps you grow, especially as a hypnotherapist. You can have that the USB section and play around with the sound and making it sure that it sounds perfect. But then as you grow, you can then go from the XLR into your sound desk. Even if you're at a live production event, you can use this as a microphone as well. So I like that transition between USB and XLR. The next one up from that is probably going to be the Shure SM7B, which I know Gareth, if Gareth's watching, he uses that microphone. It's absolutely amazing, but I've not got that set up today. But that is a phenomenal microphone. The great thing with this Shure mic as well is it's the mic that you'll see a lot of the podcasters using as well. So you kind of get that social proof from that. And again, you can fine tune and tweak your audio. Again, if you use an XLR, you can run it through a sound desk and really fine tune and tweak that, which really does help as well. Yeah, Haley Adam says you are mean. Adam Haley says you are mean. He is Haley. He picks on me, you know. There we go. Cracking bit of kit. That is definitely going to be Gareth. Speaking of Gareth as well, we'll talk about these. These are a great bit of kit if you're looking for, again, going live, just using your iPhone at an event. So these are the OSA. Let me just put it up in the thing here, just so if you're on Amazon, you kind of see what I'm talking about as well. These are. I've not got it in my carousel. Never mind. Yes, I have. There we go. These are great little kind of USB microphones that go into. Yes, exactly. If it's good enough for Joe Rogan, it's definitely good enough for us. So let me just put that back down there as well. So yeah, this is these. So again, great for if you're live streaming on the go using your phone. It's a nice little charging kit there. USB-C charger on the bottom. Open the lid up, and there's your two microphones and receivers. So you've got two transmitters in case you're interviewing somebody and a receiver. And then this is in a charging case as well. And you'll see there, it shows you that there is 77% left. 77% left on those. And these just like that bit there, when my autofocus picks it up. There you go. So that just plugs into the bottom of your iPhone. And then on the top, you just use these. And that is just a nice, simple bit of kit and easy to transport, take around with you. So if you want to do kind of walkie-talkies, live streaming on the go, which I believe if you're a hypnotherapist or a coach, it's a great place to show you in a more natural environment, walking through some trees, woodland, parks, or anything like that. And you get that really good sound quality. When you're out and about in nature, if you've got cars driving past or even birds or wind chirping in the background, it's going to affect the sound qualities. Having something like this really helps. They come with the little dead cat things as well. I don't know why they call them dead cats. I'm a cat dad, so we should find a new name for these. But it comes with these to help with that wind noise as well. It really does kind of help with your kind of live streaming when you're out and about. Again, doing studio stuff, I'm a big fan of studio stuff. But if you can live stream in a more natural environment, it becomes like a real conversation between you and potential clients. It makes you more authentic, and it helps them mind to you as a person and an individual. And I think that's really important these days. Lots of people could be great in the studio, but it's been great out there as well. I know Gareth, who's watching this, Gareth is fantastic for doing lives out and about, and is often doing hikes up mountains just before breakfast as part of the 5 a.m. club, which is craziness, but it is really great as well. Kind of a new bit of kit, and one of the things I absolutely love is this. It's Nux, I believe it's called. It is a. I'll show you here. It's an in-ear monitoring system. So very similar to the other thing. It's almost like the opposite of a microphone. So this kind of clips on there, and then I have these in here. So if this was a Zoom meeting, I've kind of got everything in my ear here. The sound's not coming through my computer. There we go. What's that? Adam says, I'm always out and about in nature these days will be good. All right, nature these days will be good. Yes, absolutely. Walkie-talkies. So yeah, so this is a great way. It's got 2 of them. I only have 1 in because I think it looks cooler. But again, it's for me, when it comes to talking to an audience and connecting with an audience, I want to be connected to my audience. So I think when you've got cans on, I think it makes you look a little bit disconnected from an audience. So having this in here is great. Also, what helps is with the Rodecaster Pro, it means like Adam, who's in the comment section here, sometimes comes in and does some production work in the studio. It means he can talk to me and tell me if something's going wrong or to prompt me with stuff, and it can work that way as well. So it's a really good way for back channel communication. It's not essential, but when I'm here in the studio, if I'm wanting to monitor sounds, or anything like that, I can be monitoring them, I can hear them, and I can hear me as well, so I can figure out those levels. This is great for the hypnotherapists that have that background music as well. So if you've got some background music and you want to be talking over that, especially during your induction or something like that, or you want to start to bring something in the background, then you can kind of do that and then slowly bring that noise up, and maybe as an outro. Hi, this is Greg Saunders. Welcome to, and all that type of malarkey. You can do that. But having the monitors in means I can monitor how that sounds versus my vocal level versus the sound level. So the sound's not going too back. Stream Deck, love a Stream Deck. Maybe we'll do a show on kind of other accessories as well. But the Stream Deck is a great bit of kit. And again, good for bringing up kind of lower thirds and really working with your live stream as well. So hopefully that makes sense. So guys, if you have any questions or anything, then please do. Oh, I'll tell you what we have got. Oh, your friend won't answer your message. These are a great bit of kit. I've just started playing around with these. These are the Lakato. I don't know if I've said that right. Lakato. I'm trying to make them sound posh. So if you're talking XLR stuff, that's these here. But this is a wireless transmitter and receiver. Now, these are great. So I've got the cable in the back of here for the XLR to go into my sound desk. I could replace that cable with these. When I'm at my events, I can replace my speaker cable with these. Now, bear in mind, that's because I have active speakers. If you have passive speakers and an amp, I wouldn't advise that. But most normal stuff, I need that when I was doing driver support. Yes. Oh, we've got some people joining on. Thank you, Chase. Thank you for joining me. Haley has been singing your praises, Chase. Said you were scared to join. Anyway, so these are awesome. Haley, thank you. Oh, Chase, thank you for your follow. We do love a bit of a follow. Thank you very much, Chase. So these are great. Something I did this week. So I was at a show on Friday night, and you'll see there I've got the Bose S1, which is this great bit of kit if you're doing events. Bro has what? Chase has you cracking up. Chase, she speaks highly of you. If you've got any funny jokes, we always love a funny joke on here. So you'll see there I have got, because the Bose S1 is battery powered. And because these are battery powered, I literally set my monitor up. So I've got my normal sound at the back, and I could set my monitor up front of stage to the right, and that's all doing everything it needs to do. And it was doing a great job. You're too funny. Well, who wants to try it? Hey, dude, great to see you. Great to see you too, dude. I love the word dude. It is Brian Glenn. Brian Glenn, we have hypnosis royalty in the house. Brian, hopefully you are well. Brian does a fantastic job training all the hypnotherapists in Yorkshire, the UK, and around the world. And actually, I'll say this, it sounds weird, but he is like the hypnosis Batman. He actually lives in a cave, a beautiful cave, but a cave nonetheless, which is too cool. So, yeah, so these are great. So, again, if you're running workshops or talks or seminars or anything like that, and you don't want to be having cables running around everywhere, I hate cables. More importantly, it's the safety element of it. I don't want a trip hazard when people are hypnotized and running around doing their thing. But also, it's like to just have it set up. He's a hypnotic comedian. What's that? I don't know. I use hypnosis to make people think I'm funny. That's what it is. I hypnotize them into thinking I'm good. And so having this really does kind of help. So yeah, it's a transmitter and receiver. Basically, anything that's XLR can be made wireless. So let's say you already have a microphone, but it's a wired microphone. I have a strong anger towards cords. I 100% agree with you. If they could, anything that can be made wireless, for me, it just makes more sense. So yeah, if you've got a microphone that is normally a plugged-in wired microphone, like you see a lot of stand-up comedians using, this then turns that microphone into a wireless microphone. So it's a great investment of your kit and great for a backup as well. Like when you fix it up, they want to go back to how it was. Cord management. Oh, I I I love good cord management. I'm not very good at it, especially when it's going back in the trunk after the gig. Sometimes I'm guilty of making a rat's nest of just chucking it in there when I'm tired. I didn't even. Haley, thank you for the follow. Thank you. Better late than never. No, yeah, exactly, exactly. So yeah, it's after a gig, it's like I'm tired. I want to go home. Um, I have a friend, Alan. Alan is great at cable management, but I think it is a method to his madness because at the end of a gig, he will meticulously, I say fold his cables, wrap his cables up meticulously. But then I realise what's happening is I'm carrying the big heavy speakers and dismantling the big heavy stuff, and his cables are perfect. And so yeah, I think cable management is a great way of not lifting heavy speakers. It's cool that I'm British. I couldn't help that bit. But thank you. Whereabouts are you from, Haley? Exactly. He's doing the light work. He is a light worker, as we all try and be. Do you know what, though? When I was young, I always used to want to prove how strong I was, and I can lift that. I'll do that. I'll do that. As I've got older, literally, I'm now like, nope. I'll sooner save my back. Cool. So, guys, Tennessee in the USA. Love the USA. I am back there. I'm in St. Louis. Is it St. Louis or St. Louis? I always try to make it sound posh, don't I? I'm in St. Louis at the end of April. I'm in Vegas in July, and I'm in Michigan, Detroit, at the end of the year, and it's going to be awesome. Small world. It is a small world. It's an incredibly small world, and I've only realised that this past kind of, I don't know, 10 years or so. I used to be very much in my own little community. Now I like to get out there as much as possible. Yeah, spread the good word of the good word. There's so many great people, and I think most of the world's problems would be cured by people actually reaching out to other people. It is a crazy small world, and we're all going through the same stuff. Yeah. Not far away, said Lewis. No, yeah. I mean, it's not far away from you. It's a bit of a trek for me, to be fair. I wouldn't like to walk it. But yeah, no, it's coming up to prom season in the USA, so I do a couple of shows over there as well. So yeah, that is cool. I've really enjoyed the stream, guys. Thank you very much for joining me tonight as well. Middle Tennessee. Tennessee sounds warm as well. I love a warm bit of the world. Guys, if you've got any questions, I'll happily jump on and answer them. I believe we've reached pretty much the end of the stream. Always leave them wanting more. I'll be back this time next Monday as well. And it's freezing. No, we've just organised a conference in Vegas about a month or so back with Jim Kellner. He was in the comments earlier. Jim is a legend. And we got there and it was a bit chilly. Yeah, we had a bit of we call in Britain, a bit of a nip on. It was a bit cold, but we're back there in July and hopefully it'll be a bit warmer. Oh, Haley. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, Haley, you're the best. Cool. Guys, I'll be back next week on Monday, where again we'll be talking more live streaming stuff and stuff that therapists and coaches can use to help improve and level up their live stream. Guys, thank you very much for joining me. If you are watching me on Amazon, please feel free to follow. I don't get any of your data. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't even get an email, but it's about sharing that love. Guys, thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you same time next week. Take care. Good night. God bless.